All right, my favorite lightweight travel tripods. I already made a video about tripods. If you haven't seen it, see it here. And I also made a video about heavy duty, really tall tripods that are also still lightweight. And you can see that video. I'll put the link down below for that. This video is about the most lightweight, small travel tripods you could possibly take. If you're a bird photographer or a nature photographer and you like to use those big, giant, heavy telephoto lenses, this is not the video for you. The reason I use tripods at all, I've got like 100 tripods, but I barely use them. I only use them for one thing. The only thing I ever really use them for is filming myself in videos like this. I don't need big, heavy-duty tripods because the cameras I use are pretty lightweight. The biggest I would ever go, usually, especially when I'm traveling, because I like to travel with lightweight, small stuff, is a full-frame camera. That's about the biggest thing I would ever take with a normal lens, not a big, giant, heavy lens. So I don't need big, heavy tripods. So that's what this video is about. The most lightweight, small, tiny travel tripods you could possibly take. And I'm actually filming with them right now also, and I'll tell you what they are in a minute. The most smallest tripod that within reason that can hold a decent camera is something like this, which is this one here also. They come in different brands. There's so many different kinds. These are just the ones that I use, and there's similar ones, but they're all roughly about the same price and the same height and the same weight. You can start with something small like this, which is the same as this one. And these are two different brands. This is a ProMaster here, Travel One. This is a SEMA. And this is how small they are when they pack. They're very, very lightweight. They weigh about a pound each, roughly. And when you undo them, they got tiny, skinny, little spindly legs, but they work. I mean, I put full frame cameras on these, but they're kind of flimsy and they don't go up very high. And so here you can see this one here, which is a different brand than that one. They go up about the same. They're all about the same height. Those little tiny ones. They're about 43 inches tall. They weigh about a pound and they all cost around $20. So this is the starting level. I used this little silver one when I was in Death Valley recently for the behind the scenes footage. I had a little Sony CX405 camcorder on top, but they don't go up very high. I like things that go up to eye level at least. But there's like a little bit of a workaround for that. And this is my idea for that. This is it's a rod. You can get them in carbon fiber. And you put like a swivel head on top, and it has a 1/4 thread on the top and the bottom, and you just screw it onto your tripod. So if you got a lightweight little camera, like a pocket camera, you can make it go up higher like that. So you can take a pocket camera and put it on top of that. That's like a cheat workaround if that's the way you want to go. But I don't use little tiny things like this very much. It's kind of wobbly and everything. So that's the first one. The second one up is something like this. This one is about 60 inches up. They cost about $30 roughly. Still a good price. But this weighs 2 pounds. This weighs 1 pound. Something about this level usually weighs about 2 pounds. This is a Travel 4 by ProMaster. It costs about $30. And that's pretty good. I mean, and you can put the pole on there too if you want, but it gets a little top heavy after a while if you put a camera on there. Here's what you should ask yourself. What do you need a tripod for? Do you need it for height or do you need it for stability? Because if you're indoors, my thing is you don't even need a tripod if you're indoors because there's no wind. Unless you're a klutz and you bang into things and you knock things over, you don't even need a tripod to hold a camera up. I use light stands actually a lot of times. They don't take up a lot of space and they go up pretty tall. Like right now, this camera right here is a Canon M200 on a light stand, just a cheap little light stand that goes up 6 feet. And this one right here, believe it or not, is a full-frame Sony A7C with a Zeiss 85mm 1.8 on there, and it's being held up by this. It's a little selfie stick light stand. I mentioned this in my last video about light stands. So it's basically a selfie stick that's meant for cell phones and action cameras. So it's a selfie stick that has a base on the bottom, a little light stand tripod light base at the bottom that you can then just stand on the floor. So you can put a lightweight camera on there like this RX100. So that's kind of what this is meant for. Is a little pocket camera, which is fine. But you know me, I like to push things to their limit and see what I can get away with. and they go up to this height and this height. This one's a little higher too, but this is really small and lightweight to take. So if you're indoors and there's no wind and there's no cats brushing up against things, you could totally use a light stand. You don't need. But if you're outdoors and there's a bit of a breeze and, it's a little more unstable, then that's where tripods come in. But otherwise, you could just use a light stand as a tripod. It's the same size and it costs the same and weighs the same as one of these things, but it goes a lot taller. And look at how much sturdier the support is than the legs on this thing. I mean, big difference between a thicker leg, even the thinnest part of it is still thicker than the thinnest part of this little tiny tripod. Even if I was outdoors, I would still use the light stand sometimes if there's no wind, and I would just put a heavy weight at the bottom of it just to support it. Just find a rock somewhere and put a heavy rock on the base to hold it in. It's a little bit taller than one of these things, but they weigh the same and they cost the same. They're about $20. So that's a consideration. Anyway, moving on to the more normal, realistic, quote unquote, light stands. We get into something like, so this is 60 inches. Now we're getting up to 70 inches, which is the height of your head. And this is actually a really good one. This is an ProMaster XCM 525C. It's carbon fiber, so it doesn't weigh much. This is 1 pound, this is 2 pounds, and this is 3 pounds. So every foot that you go higher, it's another pound. And weight is so important when you're traveling. This one is carbon fiber. Now this is not cheap. And I'm bringing this one up before I bring these two up because this one is kind of the top of the line for, now of course there's other brands and everything like that, but this is a good example of one that goes this high, the same height as you, carbon fiber. The legs go in all different positions like that, or even like that. And they fold up this way. This is what it folds down into, so it doesn't take up much space. The pole comes out and you can hang it down below or put it up above. You could use this as a light stand or a tripod. The thing about the cost of tripods is the more lightweight they are and the taller they go, the more expensive they are. Now there's ones that go as tall and cost a lot less than this one, but they weigh a lot more. And the center post goes up not just once, but twice. This one costs $270. That's a lot. Why? Because it's carbon fiber and it doesn't weigh much. And actually, this is the cool part. If you want to go higher than this, you have the option of unscrewing this center post here and then getting an optional another center post that you add in. So you can make this thing even taller if you want. Actually, the head weighs the most. This doesn't weigh anything. This is really light. Most of the weight is the head. And so maybe they have optional different heads that weigh less, but this part right here weighs almost nothing. And that's what you're paying for. Now, most of you don't want to pay $270 for something like this. And I understand, I get that. So let's move on to the next one. I like this one. Just because it looks cool. It's all this nice, shiny, anodized aluminum color. This is the K&F Concepts S210. It's very tall, goes up to 78 inches, which is 6 feet 6 inches. It weighs 3 pounds, just like this one. It's very easy to use. It collapses just like the other one. Look how tall this thing goes. I love the swivel head goes 360 degrees, very lightweight. This is carbon fiber and it weighs 3 pounds. This is aluminum and it weighs 3 pounds. Why? Because the head doesn't weigh as much as this head does, but they weigh up off of it the same, and this one actually goes taller. Look at this. This one goes a lot taller than this one. Now you can have the optional screw-in attachment to make the ProMaster even taller, but that's why I like this one. You know, I keep my eye out for really tall, lightweight tripods, and this one just came out, and I really like it. It's one of my favorites. It's real easy to use. Again, you've got the multiple position legs that can go in any direction. And that can fold all the way up and it gets really small. This one has latches that you just flick rather than things that you turn, which I like the latches more than the things you turn, like on this one. The latches, you just go click, click, Click. Much faster, easier to use. Click, click, click. I love those. And this is how small this thing becomes. This is a little bigger than this one when it's collapsed, but when it's open, it's a lot bigger also. So this one costs a lot less than this one. This thing only costs $90, which is 3 times less than this one. So I recommend this one if you want to go heavy duty and big. And it's pretty darn sturdy. This thing can hold, you could put a professional camcorder on this if you wanted to. This thing will hold a lot of weight, and it's really sturdy. And if you want to go wider with the legs, go really sturdy, you could do that too. 6 feet 6 inches tall, really easy to use, not expensive. The K&F Concepts S210. This one still weighs too much in my book. This one, it's great, but 3 pounds is too much for me when I'm trying to travel really light. I'm hiking and backpacking, I'm trying to travel, I'm trying to keep it light. I'm back to this one again. This is my all-time favorite. I did mention this one in the first tripod video. It's always been my favorite. It still is. It's super cheap. It goes up 6 feet, as you can see. And here's the cool part. It only costs $30. So it costs the same as this little thing here. And it's made out of really lightweight aluminum. The head is made out of plastic, so it doesn't weigh anything. This thing is so lightweight. Look at this. I'm holding with my little finger. It weighs nothing. It's like made out of air. The XT2 TRB, or the Exit 72, goes up 72 inches. I've used this thing, believe it or not that I recommend you do it, but I've used my full frame with my 70-200 on here, and it held. A little shaky, but it held. But this thing, I could put almost any camera on here. It's super lightweight, travels really well. It fits in a suitcase. It doesn't collapse very small, but it's small enough to fit in a suitcase or, strap onto your backpack. My God, this thing is taller than I am when it's open for $30. So this is still my favorite after all these years. I'll put the links down below for everything. I gave 12 of these away in my last tripod video because I like them so much. Now, these are considered disposable for me. This is not a long-term, keep it forever, it's going to last forever kind of thing. I realize that. A lot of times I take these things hiking, in Hawaii. They've been around the world. I take them to the top of a volcano. They're great for if you need height and you don't have a lot of, you can't take a lot of weight. But if they break, no big deal. Costs $30. It's disposable. I just leave it in the trash at the hotel and I get another. I got a bunch of these things. It's like drinking straws or toilet paper. There's things that you use and then when you're done, you throw them away. So that's how I consider this. But, if you take care of them, you could have, I've had some of these for years. And they last. You just be careful with them. I use them in the studio too. It's even got a little bubble level on there, which is so cute. It's 34.8 ounces. Anyway, so this is my favorite because it's just so lightweight. Boy, you could feel the difference between this thing here feels so lightweight compared to most tripods, but it feels so heavy compared to this thing. This one is heavy. Really, I could have 2 of these for the weight of one of these. Even this one, this is lighter than this carbon fiber $270 tripod. This thing is so much lighter and infinitely cheaper. You could buy 10 of these for one of these. Anyway, that's my thing. Lightweight travel tripods that are super lightweight, easy to use, not hard on the wallet. And that's my main thing, is finding things that are super lightweight and small. That makes it fun. Things that are lightweight are fun. So that's my video on tripods. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe you got something out of it. Maybe you didn't. But at least I'm entertaining, I hope. All right, well, I'll see you in the next video with something else that's interesting and fun and different. And what can I say? I'm rambling. All right, so I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.